Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Conspiracy Theory. We're just going to hit the ground running, no intro this time because we got time to fill. I have with me the man of the hour, or at least the man of my hour. He goes by many names: Chompers, Lady K, the man with clubbed feet, he who walks in hamburger pants, Burger Goblin Karl. Okay, maybe not the last one, but if my plans hadn't been thwarted, that would have been the case. How are you doing, Karl?
I'm doing well, Skinny Chad. Thanks for having me. I don't think people call me any of those names, but it's interesting that
Not
you.
to your face.
I see. Fair enough.
Not to your face. It was my goal to eventually get into like the side of like to get on Chad's show and maybe KB's show one of these days and put in the little mind bug and get Burger Goblin Karl into the lexicon
Okay.
one day
And
where they're like saying like
people aren't picking up on that.
yeah, well I kind of had to like get on those shows first, but it's like I've been like trying to crawl up the community ladder for like I don't know so many years. It's since I started the Skinny Chad persona. The Yeah, as you see, I got my hat on the side here. I figured I'd take the hat off and just no goofy stuff today. It's just
This is
straight
serious.
talk, just
All
you
right.
and me.
Yeah. The serious conversation we're having.
Yeah,
Good.
and
So you've
and the
reached out to Chad to go on his show. Has he responded to you?
what was that?
Have you reached out to Chad to go on his show?
Not yet, not an official contacts. I'm slowly building up rapport with Tom. I would love to have a conversation with Tom. It would
Who's
be a
Tom?
fantastic Tom Myers.
Oh, okay. What does Tom Myers have to do with going on Chad's show? You want to go on Tom's show first?
Well, either ones, either ones. I didn't say like I just only Chad's show.
Right. But your angle is to talk about me, right? And Chad doesn't like me and Kevin Brennan doesn't like me and Tom doesn't
Yeah,
like me. Okay.
yeah. And the thing would be is that
On the door, especially with MLC.
yeah, because well, I mean now I'd probably be guaranteed. I'd probably be guaranteed the Chad seat because I hear it's down to Chad. So all I just got to do is just play your segment, and then he's like, "You're in."
Well, he's got who's that guy?
Clearwater.
Clearwater Chad on there. I mean, the vetting process is not what it used to be.
That's what I'm counting on.
Yes, good, Skinny Chad. Now's your
Okay,
chance.
just to show you I'm not obsessed with you, I have the other painting done by Cardiff's kids.
Great. I just hung mine. I don't know if you saw the show yesterday, but we have it hanging up behind producer Chris now. The painting.
Not yet. I'll get caught up on it. And here, check this out.
Is this a Clay Dabbler original?
Whoop. Oh shit!
No.
I dropped it.
Oh no! I hope that doesn't break.
Ugh,
Oh no!
his glasses fell off, but you can see
It's
it.
still intact. Yeah, that's incredible. Clay Dabbler is very talented.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy.
He is. Well, I appreciate you having him make that. I know he's resistant to making a Karl clay figurine for a while there.
Yeah, I'll pick up the glasses later. Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy doing the little comic strips with Burger Goblin Karl. It's fantastic.
Where do you put those? I don't see them all the time. Are they just on Twitter?
Yeah, they're on Twitter right now. When I get enough of them, I'll collect them and number them and then put them in a special file someplace so that they're accessible.
Okay.
Like webtoons, like I did with my pull-up comic, The Triumph of Eric July.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Are you a big Eric July fan?
Huh?
Are you an Eric July fan?
No, but I'm trying to convince people that I am.
Got it. So your whole persona is the opposite of how you really feel about things.
Yeah. Because I guess what's happened lately is I guess I don't know if I'm either playing the character too well or something of that nature, but I guess it comes off like I might have had. Are you like genuinely offended by anything that I've said or done?
Am I? No.
But on your show, you said that I'm a creep, though.
Well, you do creepy things.
Like what?
Well, like sending me pants in the mail and then telling me to take a photo wearing them for you. That's not a normal thing. You're the only person who's ever done that to me.
Yeah, that is pretty weird. But
Okay, good. All right, we're on the
it
same
was
page.
pretty funny for a while. I mean,
But I'm not offended. It takes a lot to offend me,
it's
and
it's
words
I did
rarely.
it. I did it as a goof. I thought it would be funny.
Sure.
I and the I guess the whole crux of the hamburger pants saga, as I like to call it, is that I guess I hassle you to put them on. It took a lot longer than I thought it would,
Yeah.
because and I guess in that I got like actually frustrated. But
So you were
whenever I
angry
would
with
do
me. You were actually angry with me, right?
uh, frustrated
Yeah.
isn't angry.
Okay. How are you feeling now? Are we on good terms?
We'll see.
Okay.
The thing is that
You're a tough
I would
cookie,
always
Kitty Chad.
I would always
Hard
try to
cheese.
wrap everything in a joke,
Okay.
because that's the thing. I needed everything to be funny.
Sure.
I needed it to be hilarious. I remember whenever I would send a super chat, demanding, put on those hamburger pants, Karl, I'd always wrap it up in a joke. I think one time I did like the $50 super chat where I asked Blind Mike to look under the table. It was during Who Are These Socials. Said,
Hmm.
Blind Mike, look under the table and see if Carl's wearing those hamburger pants. And he looked under the table. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think stuff like
Funny
that
for
is
two
funny.
reasons. Yes.
Yeah, I
All right. Well, I'm glad that you got some mileage out of that. Maybe it's a good thing then that I didn't immediately take a photo with them because it gave you something to communicate with us about.
yeah, and that's sort of like what the point of it was, is that it was sort of my own little like thing to interact with the show type of thing. And I understand the way that I had explained it in the Adam Bush interview. I guess I don't know if I was trying to either. I totally admit on that interview I completely ate shit. I totally ate shit on this. I guess I thought I was more clever than I thought I was, and it's 100% my fault that it turned out that way.
I thought it turned out good. I enjoyed the clips that Adam brought to WATP and it definitely enlightened me about your characters that you play and what your approach is and your angles on things. So I don't feel bad about that. I thought it was good.
No, what I don't feel bad about that. What I feel bad about is that everybody in Dabbleverse thinks I'm a big creep now, and that's
Well,
kind of odd.
you did. Yes, that is true.
And
that,
I guess
that is
that's a part where I probably either I leaned too much into it, and I should have just pulled back or something like that, because there was a lot of stuff where I don't know. I don't know if either Adam was being combative, or because the intent that I had, I thought it would be just like he comes in, I ask him about Dabbleverse stuff, and then we, I don't know. I guess we'll do dueling, and then I show him my stuttering John, my multi award
Yeah, you get
winning
Dabbler Awards right there.
stuttering John
Abby's.
impersonation, and wow him. But I guess that's not how that turned out. I'm mostly to blame for that. That's mostly my fault.
Well, why did you feel you needed to impress Adam?
Well, because I like him. He's a cool dude, and I
Oh,
respect
I
him a
agree.
lot.
I agree with you on that.
But then, I guess when I sort of like figured I would be served up to the wolves, I guess I had to make sure, it's like, well, if I'm going down, I got to make sure at least one of you guys chokes on me. And I guess that's why he got so upset about it, because he was so
He wasn't
pissed.
upset. What was he pissed about? I don't remember him being pissed.
Yeah, he was really upset
By
because
the way, is my internet lagging? Because you're lagging on my end, but it could be my internet. Am I doing okay?
every now and then I'll hear like a little bit. But luckily with Zencaster, it saves it all to like a backup thing. So
Okay,
if it's a little edgy here, we're not going to notice it in the final.
great. All right, so why did you think Adam was mad at you, or what upset him? I didn't see him get upset.
Well, when the segment is titled Adam Bush's worst interview, and he's raging the entire thing, that's kind of context clues.
Oh, I titled that. He had nothing to do with that. I'm trying to listen. When I title things, I want to get clicks. So you got to go with extremes when you're doing that. You can't be like, so interview that Adam did. It's not going to get a lot of clicks
Okay.
on.
Okay, then I'll tell you what I think he got pissed off about.
All right, please.
Was when he left the interview, he just left. He just dipped out. It looked either he rage quit or something. That's what I think. He probably
I
rage quit.
disagree. He was so patient with you. How much time did he spend with you? An hour, 20 minutes or so? Hour 15?
Yeah, about that much.
All right. Well, that's a lot of time for the guy's giving you right there. I don't think you can be mad at him leaving after that.
Well, I put the clip of him leaving suddenly and me there looking stupid, and then I put it. Did Adam Rage quit? Find out. Watch the interview.
Okay.
So I guess going for clicks.
Sure. Yeah, but I don't think. See, I don't agree with your premise that Adam was upset with you or mad at you. I didn't get that sense at all. Even when he was presenting it to me, I didn't get the sense that he was upset with you in any way.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out in Boston then.
Are you coming to Boston?
I'll buy him a Diet Coke or something.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I don't think
WATP.com.
I don't feel safe putting alcohol in him until I find out.
Oh, trust me, you've no issue. You've nothing to worry about with Adam. He's a sweetheart.
So I'm told. Other than that, I do often wonder, like, if we were to do it again, like, I don't know if maybe now, since he's had time to settle down or whatever, if maybe we could try again. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, especially.
What do you need to talk to him about?
I don't know what to think.
Huh? You didn't seem to have a lot of questions for him last time. Do you have new questions that you didn't get a chance to ask?
Well, I kind of want to just ask him about, and I keep saying Dabbleverse stuff. I just wanted to talk to him about this community and stuff like this. We got into like the analysis of it and how it pertains similarly to the Brony community and all of that stuff. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Okay.
But if I left him with like such a bad impression, I am feeling like I have to in some way make it up to him somehow.
Oh, don't feel like that at all. I don't think he feels that way. And also, I'll just tell you, if you don't get Adam back on the show, don't take it personally. Adam is going around and doing a whole media blitz and going on all of these shows, but he's told me he's only going on each show one time.
All right.
You'll get a chance to chat with them. We'll be in Boston. That's going to be fun, the live show. Where do you live? Where are you traveling in from?
I live in San Antonio.
That's right. We talked about this at Genesee Brew Pub, right?
Yeah.
We hung out that Sunday afternoon. What was that event? Was that a creep off show that we did that you came into town?
That was Vinny's show.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Vinny's show. That was the weekend was that the weekend Stuttering John was supposed to be in town?
Yeah, that was March 10th. That was the infamous Super Mario Day when John was supposed to do his thing, right. When he was supposed to have his big comeback.
We had a little meetup on Sunday at the Genesee Brew Pub, and you and a couple other people that came into town were hanging with us there. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. How do you like San Antonio? I just visited there a couple months ago.
Yeah, I heard. What were you doing here? Like,
I was on vacation. Me and Jen and Trucker Andy and his wife, we all went to Fredericksburg and spent some time there, and then flew into San Antonio. So we went back and spent a day and a night in San Antonio, and then flew back out.
Oh God, I've been to Fredericksburg.
It's a pretty cool place. They got a lot of German breweries, a lot of Germans in Frederick.
Yeah, it's very old timey, townsy.
Yep.
Cozy type of. Typical hipster bullshit stuff. So no wonder. Yeah, no wonder you went there.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, you guys hit up a Spurs game or something. Yeah, that I could respect. But no, it's like, oh, we went to Fredericksburg and browsed the jam aisle and bought jars of honey. Okay.
Yeah. We did the Riverwalk. We did the tourist thing. We were staying right on the Riverwalk, so we spent time there. But San Antonio has to get a real sport. Basketball sucks. I'd go see a sport in any town I go into, but I don't go to see NBA games.
Yeah, we have the ice hockey. We have
Oh, you
that.
do? Wait,
Yeah.
what's your hockey team?
I don't
Oh,
know.
minor league team.
I'm not a sports nerd. I just
It's
know that
not.
we have a hockey team.
It's not an NHL team though. It's not a major league team.
No, it's one of the minor leagues,
Right.
and
Right.
we
Right.
have like a facility here that has like indoor hockey and soccer. It's like two
Okay.
fields right next to each other, really big, really fancy.
Nice. Yeah, it's a cool,
Cool.
cool city. You've been there your whole
Yeah,
life, or did you move there?
I pretty much lived here my whole life, pretty much.
Cool.
So aside from the small talk, um, yeah, I had to put product in my hair because otherwise that's
Well,
what you
good.
get when you have hair that's so thick and there's so much of it. And my genetics are that I'll never go bald. Yeah, you have that problem. Do you ever have that problem? Your hair is so thick, you
I
just
yeah, I think I used to. I definitely don't anymore. I don't know how I'm holding on to my hair. If you've seen my brother, he's completely bald. He went bald when he was 20. My dad's bald. I don't know how I've been able to pull this off.
you know hang on to it.
I'm trying. I am trying, buddy.
The let's see. Yeah, I have a whole list of stuff. So let me see if I cover everything. Oh yeah. Also, you know how you tell people, just do it. Like, if you're
I
going to
did
sue
see
me,
that one
just
time.
do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I actually filed charges against you in Dabble Court,
Okay.
and I contacted Lucy Tightbox to represent me,
Okay.
and so that way, if I think I sent you a copy of the charges, and it was going
Oh,
to be like extortion for taking so long on putting on the hamburger pants.
well, you live in an interesting fantasy world, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
I tried
Came in back in December. It looks like.
try to make it
You
as
trying to get
interesting as
Cardiff
possible.
to rule over this?
Yeah, yeah. But I think I'll drop a couple of the charges.
Okay, okay.
Although there is a new charge that I think I should bring up, which is the lately I've noticed you've been showcasing your twig feet, your twigs. You have very thin legs,
Showcasing them? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? We were in Vegas and I wore shorts. I think everyone does. It's 100
and
degrees out.
everyone commented on them.
I'm supposed to be able to help that? I can't help that. It was
What you don't
showcase.
understand is that infringes on my artistic representation of Burger Goblin Carl with the
Right.
twig feet. So
Okay.
you're in violation of my artistic representation.
I
That's
see.
another charge. I should take you to court for that.
Yeah, I don't know that you're going to get too far with that, considering which came first.
Yeah,
I didn't
Burger
transform my
Goblin
legs
Carl.
after your comic came out. So you might want to just rethink that one.
Okay, I guess I can exercise some mercy. uh, so, aside from that, I guess I just want to make sure that we're good. That 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 you know that I don't have any animosity towards you. That it's clearly a joke that I either let get out of hand or something of that nature. And that
That,
I'm really a big fan of the show, and I really enjoy everything that
oh,
you
good.
do.
I appreciate that, and you do a lot to help the show with through your art and contribution. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, that was the sense I got when you had the conversation with Adam. Is that you don't have animosity towards me, but you are playing a character that is my arch
yeah,
nemesis,
yeah.
which we're totally tearing that apart right now because we're saying all of this stuff out loud on the show.
No one pays attention to this show. Remember what Adam said? Like only 58 people showed up to the interview.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
that's a good
okay,
point.
yeah. So no one's going to watch this. So we could like openly plot to take over the Dabbleverse entirely, and no one would get a hint. All of our secret plans.
Let's not do that. You want to talk about anything real? You want to talk about any real stuff that's going on?
Well, let's see. The Let me go over my notes. You
Sure.
used to work at E-Bombs World, is that right?
That is right. Yes.
For some reason, I keep wanting to say E-fucked.
Did you? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Did you used to go on E-Bombs World back in the day?
Yeah, that was the go-to place for
Yeah.
memes and stuff of that nature. It was that, Consumption Junction, and Rotten.com and all that stuff. That was weird stuff.
I just went to
Yeah.
E-Bombs World. I haven't been to this website in years and years and years. It's still there. They're still doing it. Of course, E-Bomb sold it. He has nothing to do with it anymore. But someone's still making it a thing.
Hmm. Oh, I have a conspiracy theory for you.
Oh, please.
Yeah. You used to own a marketing firm, is that right?
Yeah, I was a partner at a digital marketing agency. Yep.
Oh, okay, because I noticed in one of the it's this woman who ran this organization called Sweet Baby Inc. And her name was Kim Belair. And at GDC, she said that if you want to implement your DEI into if you want to get a foothold into it and force your way into the company, you got to have coffee with their marketing department and terrify them if they don't give you what you want. And we're forcing her um, consultancy services into industries and stuff like that. And I wonder, is that something that you've ever had to deal with in your time? Is like advocacy groups, or did you see any inkling of that earlier, or was that
Fortun-
simply not your clientele?
Fortunately for us, because we did own the company, we didn't get involved in that kind of horse shit and didn't have to deal with that sort of thing. But there was definitely some things that were creeping in because of employees, younger employees, and their thoughts on how the workforce should operate. So I definitely had to deal with HR more than I wanted to.
Hmm. Okay, so you have no hand in the decline of Western civilization of that nature.
Correct. In fact, I am fighting against it, my friend.
Okay, because it seems like everywhere, it seems like that sort of influence is rather coming in. And since you were like on the front lines, I figured I'd probably ask that and see if that was something that you saw
I had
coming
a.
or even
I'll
had to
give you a
deal with.
scoop. I'll give you a scoop. I had a woman who reported to me, and she had a guy who reported to her because I elevated her to a management position. And I said, okay, here's your team now. You're going to work with this person and this person. She found out, because she's the boss at that now, she found out how much the guy who was reporting into her was making, which was less than her, but she thought it was too much and she thought it was sexism. She got very upset and she did threaten to get an attorney and sue us for sexism, even though she made more money and had a higher position.
Hmm. That
Go
is
figure that one
interesting.
out.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I'm
It's
like,
it's
but I hired you and I just elevated you. I gave her like three different races. I was like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do to show you that I treat all employees equally and based on merit, nothing to do with
yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, what was that Dick Masterson says? He was referring to that one show. It's like the money was the thank you. Like people don't feel appreciated. It's like
Right.
that's what the money was for.
Yes. That paycheck you get, that's them letting that you know they like having you around because they'll stop doing that when they don't want you there anymore.
Mm. Yeah, the that's kind of how I found your show was through the Dick show.
Oh, cool.
The
A lot of people notice
I
that way.
believe it was
Right.
the at the time I think you ran into that issue with the vanishing. How long ago was that?
That would have been 2018, 27, maybe 2017.
Okay, so I've been a listener since then.
Cool.
Okay, and then I've been like following the show and doing all that stuff. And
That's awesome, man. You go way back.
yeah, I know. So you can understand how I felt when I felt like I got thrown under the bus type of thing. You would understand I'd be a little
Nope.
bit like
Nope.
peeved about that.
I'm a fan of lots of things. I don't expect anyone who's a part of that to talk to me or react to me. I've told you I'm a huge Ween fan, my favorite band. And I got an opportunity to open for the lead singer, Aaron Freeman, at this venue. My band got to open for him. It was very exciting. And they said, Karl, Aaron's right back there in the green room if you want to go talk to him. And I went, nope, he doesn't owe me anything. I've enjoyed his music. He's given me things that I've enjoyed, and I have no reason to talk to him. Unless he comes to me and goes, Karl, I'm a huge WTP fan, I don't have any desire to reach out to him and have a relationship with him. So you don't have to have a relationship with people just because you appreciate their work or enjoy their art.
All right. Yeah, I guess there's some underlining message that you're trying to beat into my head.
Oh, no. It's not underlying. It's specifically, don't feel that I owe you something because you've liked my show for a long time. I appreciate that. I appreciate you supporting, and that's why I'm here with you now and wanted to give you some time. But just because you're a fan of something doesn't mean that the thing you're a fan of owes you something back. That would be a crazy world. That'd be a tough nut to crack. If I had to do a 1 hour interview with every person who listens to WATP, I would not be able to accomplish that.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's like no matter what I'm saying, I'm going to come off sounding crazy. So
No, not at all.
matter.
Listen, and I don't think you're crazy. I'm just letting you know how I think about entertainment and the people that I admire who I'm a fan of.
Okay, because it's just like the whole, I guess reaching out and stuff, and I do kind of feel like I was thrown under the bus in a sort of way that with the segment.
Sorry you feel that way, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, but then I bring it up to you and I ask, and you just tell me, and then I was like, well, if that's just the way it is, then I guess that's the way it is.
Okay, so what did I do to throw you under the bus?
Well, it's like the sort of I felt it was like the segment and stuff like that, and calling it the worst interview, and then like the whole.
Oh, so this is just about Adam bringing that segment to the show. Now, if that wasn't okay, let me ask you this. I don't know if you can even do this exercise, but if that was a different listener, or let's say that was Rob Saul's show or someone else's show, would you have enjoyed that segment?
Yeah, probably would have. But then I guess that's sort of the difference is that, when it happens to you eventually.
Yeah. Right. Precisely.
I guess. Yeah. I know. It's just a lot. And thank you so much for taking the time to come up here and do the show and stuff like this.
Yeah, of course. And there was no ill will or anything in that segment with Adam and I. We just, you're an interesting character. And so we were kind of analyzing it a little bit.
All right. I mean, do you still feel comfortable if I continue with the character in the way that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I guess
I'm glad that I've inspired you to make some art, and I appreciate it, and I always enjoy checking it out. So continue to do so, please.
All right, it's just something that I kind of had to ask, just to be absolutely sure, because I don't want like wires to get crossed or anything like this. Because It's like so much we all take it personally and all this stuff, and I've actually found a show that I think would be perfect for WATP. It would make a great segment, and I'll chop it up and send you samples and stuff like this. But of course, I got a little hesitant because I'm like wondering, well, how are they going to feel when I felt when I had a segment about me as well? It's that sort of like empathy creeps in type of thing.
Do you know the people that you're talking about?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
But I really do enjoy their show.
What's it called?
I don't want to like reveal it right now type of thing. Okay. I don't want to spoil it.
All right.
But I gotta cut up. I gotta, actually do the thing and get it, because I have an episode that I want to take a look at, and I got to do some more research and get some stuff on some other things, so that way it's well presented and everyone knows I can present what it is that I'm talking about and that stuff.
Do you suffer from creating high expectations of yourself? Do you find yourself disappointed or let down a lot?
Yeah, sometimes, quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm getting that sense. I can tell just by you talking about this segment and the work you have to put into it to make it perfect. And I worry that it won't turn out the way that you have pictured in your head, and it's going to be a letdown. There's a lesson that I learned from the South Park guys. And I think it was Trey Parker.
Perfect is the enemy of good or something.
Yeah, exactly. He said, I'll get a script down and it's 95% there, and it'll take me twice as long to get the final 5%. So I decide, good enough, and move it on.
All right.
Got to value your time and juggle these things.
Okay. I do have like a legit beef on one of your segments.
Okay.
All right. We'll see if we're still friends after this. Wait, we never were friends, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When you had Ray on and you did a segment on a podcast called Weaponized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remind me what Weaponized was.
Weaponized was Jeremy Corbell, where they talk about UFOs and the disclosure movement.
Yes.
I guess you had a whole segment planned, and instead Ray and you just sang songs.
Oh, Ray and I have never sang songs. I pulled out a mandolin when I was on his show once.
Well, he wanted to sing a song, I believe.
He sings a lot. Yeah, that's true. But I did the segment. We did the segment on Weaponized. I pulled a bunch of clips and I went through it.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that I kind of feel like you guys were sitting on gold.
Okay.
Because,
like that,
and I don't know that.
Do you think they're crackpots? What do you think?
Well, I don't know how much you know about Jeremy Corbell, but he is in my field, in the paranormal field. He's one of the prominent disclosure bros.
Yes.
And he's got so much baggage that he's practically a locale himself.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I've seen him on Joe Rogan, but I guess it's been a long time.
Yeah, he's a character. One of the things is that he's pretty much the epitome of a bored theater kid. And he did this thing where he actually developed like a fake form of martial arts. And it's funny, like I would have loved for him to bring that up to Joe Rogan or something like that, and he totally would have called him out on that.
Oh, for sure.
It's just he's just the current this grifter and stuff. And I think one time there was a congressional hearing where he had a report that he had made up was presented by like another senator, and then the senator had somehow gotten credit for it. I think it was the Immaculate Conception documents or something of that nature. And then he had produced a documentary series about how, I should have gotten credit for that, this and that, pretty much whining about it. And it's just sort of interesting that there's all this backlog about all this stuff. And I felt like you guys, if you guys had just, focused on it, there was like so much potential that stuff that you're sitting on there.
Annie, are there any reviews you have for us?
Yeah, there's a couple of new ones that finally came in, but I'm only going to read one today because it's kind of long.
Thank you.
Karl is a wish-hoarding burger goblin. In recent episodes, Burger Goblin Karl has gotten into the habit of granting patrons and fans wishes, wearing their material offerings from burger hats to napping queen sleeping masks. Yet, no hamburger pants that were gifted prior in good faith were included. The host is very clearly being petty and cruel just for the heck of it. Burger Goblin Karl then roars, exposing his tusks and bucked teeth aggressively to his co-host while cackling manically at the misfortunes of former celebrity radio personalities who are struggling with mental health issues. Karl, the Burger Goblin, needs to either grant those hoarded wishes he's clearly holding over the heads of his good patrons, or just pick up his mandolin as he clip-clops his chicken leg club feet into the sunset.
What's the name of the reviewer on that one?
Skinny Chad Sumac.
Yeah, that is Skinny Chad Sumac. And I saw him in the chat a little while ago, and I went, fuck, I still haven't done that thing I told him I would do. I'm so sorry. I'm so far behind on life. Please tell me you at least gave us 5 stars with that.
No. It was 1.
Jesus!
Okay, hold on.
Skinny Chad Sumac, I'm sorry. I'm going to do it. I'm sorry.
You can edit those reviews, so maybe he'll change it to 5 later.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll do what we got to do. We got you.
Make it right.
We'll get to that to you. Hopefully, we'll see it at DabbleCon too.
Yes.
August 16th and 17th. Come with Carlson, WATPlive.com.
Who will he be this time?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
Because he was Blind Mike last time I saw him at the
Skinny
Come with
Blind
Carlson. Skinny Blind Mike. Very good.